On this side of the aisle, the motion is clear. On April the 1st, the carbon tax is going to increase by 23% as part of that plan to quadruple the carbon tax from its current rate right now. If Canadians think it's bad now, just wait until year after year after year it gets to the totals in their plans. They may not even be done after that. There is no part of this country that is not impacted negatively from the failed carbon tax, and it has been a failure. Emissions are not going down, they are going up. And the cost of living and the cost of doing business is skyrocketing at rates like we've never seen before. But I want to point out a couple points in this country. Just this week, CTV News had an article, the headline, 40% of Nova Scotia households struggle to pay their electricity bill. They still plan to quadruple the carbon tax and drive the bills up even further. But the part of the country I would like to highlight today, Mr. Speaker, are the good people in Northern Ontario, who for years have overwhelmingly elected many Liberal and NDP MPs to go to Ottawa, and now they're seeing week by week, month by month, budget by budget, just how out of touch their Liberal and NDP MPs have been. It was very interesting here, and I want to call out the hypocrisy, particularly of the NDP. They always talk a big, tough game. They yell and they do all their things, whether it be a committee or in question period, and they always claim they have these great ideas, and they vote, and they do all these things that make it look like they're fighting on behalf of folks, particularly in Northern Ontario. At the end of the day, when the budget comes, Mr. Speaker, the NDP are just as complicit as the Liberals are in driving up the carbon tax. In hypocrisy, I have to call out the member for Algoma, Manitoulin, Kapuskasing, an NDP MP that goes on the record and says, quote, about the carbon tax, quote, I think it's a black eye for the Liberals for what they have done. Excuse me, to the NDP, they have voted with the Liberals every single time, and they are going to quadruple. The only reason Canadians aren't having a choice right now is because the NDP keeps propping them up time and time again. And, Mr. Speaker, I think what is important here, too, is that they go and they say one thing back in their ridings, and then they come to Ottawa and they vote a completely different way. Well, what we say is rent's up, gas is up, the carbon tax is up, housing costs are up, and for the NDP, time's up. Canadians, particularly in Northern Ontario, aren't buying it anymore.